Hey, we're three people who haven't done this before, and we've been struggling for 5 minutes to actually find a way to open this podcast up.
I would say we've been struggling for longer.
Probably, yes.
It started when I wanted toast.
Yes.
That
was like a fucking hour ago.
That was an actual
Yeah, that
hour
was an
ago.
hour ago.
I think more than an hour ago, wasn't it?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we're past the toast. It's okay. I forgive you.
Yes, I passed the toast, much like one passes gas.
Let's.
It took a while, but
We're
that's because I have
already
a
into
medical
fart
condition.
jokes.
Yeah.
It's because I have a medical condition, okay?
Fecal
All right,
matter.
okay,
Fecal
okay,
matter.
okay,
Poopy
okay.
dick.
Oh no. We're like I said, three people who haven't done this before. Let's introduce ourselves. Who wants to
Clearly.
start?
All right.
Liam
I'll start.
obviously wants to start.
I'll start. Who am I? I'm Abdullah. I host the channel Boldly Wired. I'm a part of Last Life. I make video game content. The latest thing I made, I think at the time of this releasing, is either the Quantum Conundrum video, which is a cool puzzle game. You should check it out, or some other video that I've made in the future. I'm not a mind reader. Not a mind reader. Crystal.
Can't read your own
ball
mind?
reader. I don't know. Someone else go.
Hi. My cat is right next to the mic. His name is Yato. Based on the
So he
anime
makes your
Noragami.
videos.
Yeah, it's based on the anime Noragami, which is really good. He's just jumped onto my shoulder. Okay. This is an adventure. My name is King K. Well, how does the quote go again from Arrow? I tried to do the Arrow quote and I forgot.
My name is Oliver
all of
Queen,
it.
and for the last 5 years, I've
For the last 5 years, I've been in hell. Is that how we used to say? I don't know. My name's King K. I am on YouTube. Coincidentally, I'm also in the Last Life network.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. The multi-channel network.
Multiverse.
the MCN. The MCN to rule them all.
Oh, God.
And yeah, that's me.
Cool.
I don't know. I make Zelda videos.
All right, how
primarily.
old are you? What's your address?
No.
21 years old, 146.
No one heard that.
What?
It's okay.
That's a lot of
Do you
sixes.
my
I have a-
here's my social security.
I'm not bleeping that.
Can you please bleep that?
Oh my
That's
god,
actually-
was that actually...
Was that real?
Was that actually your...
I tried to change one of the numbers.
All right, don't worry, I'll take care of it.
do not forget to bleep
I won't. Don't worry. Oh my god.
In
What
the
a
middle,
way
I
to
was
start
like,
this off.
Let's change two of those numbers, and I accidentally read the whole thing.
Okay, well... Liam, go ahead.
Was that your real house number?
Wait, do I have
no,
to
that was
bleep
my
your address too?
No, that wasn't my address.
Okay,
I never even
okay.
said my address.
Okay.
Oh, okay, cool, good. All right.
All right, so just the social
now that
security number that you gave away to the internet. Great. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Certified morons.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, we were saying that earlier.
Yeah.
We really are, and that's why we're perfect for this.
That's why.
It's funny too, because we Dan and I and Abdullah comes on as well. We have another podcast, and it's essentially just what you're about to listen to.
So have
Abdullah,
fun.
Abdullah, you're practically part of our podcast. Anyway.
Yeah, at
Well,
this point you are.
I've been on like 2 episodes. I
You're in our Discord. Nobody else wants to talk to us. You might as well just be in it.
It is true.
Well,
That's
I'm
neither here nor
honored.
there now.
I'm honored.
Nobody wants to hear about our shitty
Anyways,
side
yes,
projects.
yes. Liam, introduce
Oh yeah, I
yourself.
should probably introduce myself. My name is not Liam. I don't know where I was going with that bit. It's Liam. I make videos on everything that isn't Zelda, which is that's just betrays my alias really. But I'm
Liam,
I've
why
wanted
have I
to
made
for
more?
years.
Why have I made more Zelda videos than you have?
well.
It's actually
To be
ironic,
fair,
yeah.
you were in like a massive kick when Breath of the Wild was about to come out, like creatively. Meanwhile,
true,
I
yeah.
was still trying to figure out what I was doing.
That's true. I just thought it was funny because your username is actual Zelda.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I also, outside of just Zelda, and by the way, there's an echo. I can hear somebody. Just make sure.
I don't know.
It'll
Take
be
care of
fine.
that,
It'll be
Abdullah.
good. Yeah.
Snipe the echo.
Yeah. Got it.
All right. Yeah, I plan on doing literally everything that has the word Zelda in the title, including Four Swords, which, you know what? Four Swords doesn't get as much credit as it deserves. It's fun. Very fun.
I haven't had the opportunity to play it. unfortunately.
I haven't
I'd
either
like to.
because they made the 3DS one. It was on 3DS, right?
Yeah.
And then
It was,
there
but
was
that was
one on
legitimately just the
DS,
Game Boy
yeah.
Advance version,
Yeah.
but with 2 screens.
that
so.
had online, right?
I want to
No,
play the
no.
one on GameCube with friends.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
could
yeah,
emulate
yeah.
it.
We could definitely do netplay with that.
Yeah.
That it seems complicated to net play that game.
Really?
Well, you
'Cause
could
you
just
need-
open the GBA
you
on an
need-
opposite screen.
Can you?
Yep. Anyway,
never mind.
that's completely irrelevant.
We'll figure that. Figure,
Okay,
we'll
so
figure that out later.
how are you,
Yeah.
Abdullah?
Oh, me?
Well, this is an easy question. I'm good.
yeah.
Okay.
I had a gun to my head
Are
earlier.
you
but
Abdullah?
It's other than that, it's been.
Because I specifically asked Abdullah,
Oh.
Oh.
and you answered my question. How could you do that to me?
Now I feel
Abdullah,
betrayed
how are
too.
you?
I was supposed to talk and no, I just.
Let me say I am great. Because nobody's answering.
Why are you great?
I'm great.
Nobody cared.
What's
Why am
been-
I great?
Yeah, I mean,
let
what's
me
been...
list off I have a list of reasons here.
Okay.
I own a cat.
Okay.
I drink root beer.
You should have just stopped there.
No
That's
comma.
about it.
I have a cat. I drink.
That's about it.
All right. Those are
I
pretty
need an
valid
oil
reasons.
change.
You
so
need
that's
an oil
not gonna
change.
be fun.
Yeah, that's not
Yeah.
great. I mean, they're not bad.
It's not that bad, but I have to wait there for like an hour.
Yeah, but I
It's
mean, worst
relaxing.
case, you're just on your phone and you're just like.
Yeah, or take my Switch and then
Actually,
somebody will come up.
worst
to me
case,
and
you're on
rob
Twitter
me.
on your phone, which is like actually worst case.
Well, that's why I'm gonna bring my Switch so I don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should uninstall Twitter on your phone if you
Yeah,
haven't.
that's a fun site. Liam, how are you?
I'm
Liam
great.
already answered.
All right. Yeah, that's
Unfortunately.
No, he must care about me, so he asked again.
I was just being.
I'm
polite.
really happy about that.
I was just being polite.
Liam,
Well, then fuck you.
All right,
All right.
that's
Liam,
not polite.
Liam, did you get a tooth yanked recently?
No.
I understood that.
I see what you were referencing. No one is going to understand.
I mean,
it's fine.
two people,
It's
three
okay.
people, might. I don't know.
It's all right. Matt will appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He'll-
that's fair.
And then
This is awful. This is an awful podcast.
Hey,
this
don't,
episode at least.
don't insult. Yeah, can't argue.
Continue, Abdullah. What
I
were you
mean,
gonna say?
I don't know. How am I? I'm good. I just got back from a test today. Midterm. It was worth 20% of my grade.
Oh shit.
Did you fail it?
I mean, I don't know yet. I think I did well, but you never know. So I'm not. It's glad. I'm
I mean,
happy
hey,
to be
if you
here
ever
with
feel
friends.
down, just remember that I skipped one of my finals and still passed the class.
Fuck you. Actually, fuck you. That pisses me off. Oh my god. Every time you bring that up, it just annoys me. Oh my god.
I did that last semester,
What?
or the semester before that.
Wait, and you passed the class?
Yeah, I had a really good mark, and I was like, you know what? I don't like this program, and I'm going to pass pretty well if I skip this, and I did.
My friend did that, and he goes to the same
Yeah.
school as me. And when he did that, he had to
Apathy.
retake the course.
Apathy.
Oh my
Well,
god.
yeah.
it depends on the final. Depends on the circumstances.
No,
like-
our school has a school-wide policy. You skip you skip the final, you retake the course.
Mine doesn't. All right, kid.
Oh my god, life is unfair.
Yeah, I know. No, it is. Yeah.
Uh,
So how are you feeling
correct.
after that comment?
salty.
Well, that's not that bad. Everybody gets salty once in a while.
Yeah.
Well,
It
if
is the
that's
internet.
that's I mean, if you don't want to feel salty, you could talk about what you're working on.
Oh,
What do you
yeah,
got?
nice-
What you
nice
got brewing
transition.
behind the scenes?
Epic segue.
I don't know. By the time this comes out, the latest thing that I know of at this moment while we're recording that I'll have done is the Quantum Conundrum video.
That was a lot of descriptors to that.
I just wanted to be very specific and clear with my answer. I don't know. It's a video about Quantum Conundrum, which is a puzzle game that came out in 2014, I think. No, 2012, I think.
You should spoil your entire video.
Well, I'll just give the premise. It's-
Read your script during
It's
the podcast.
basically a video about how like Quantum Conundrum is a game that doesn't just rely on you figuring out the solution to the puzzle, but actually executing it, which I think is a cool idea. And I haven't played many puzzle games. Well, I haven't played many puzzle games in general, but from the ones I have played, they all rely on you just like figuring out the solution. And then it's like,
Oh, it's based on like practicality.
yeah, it's like
Cool.
I mean, I can't give examples because it's like such a weird game, so I'd have to describe how the game works. But like, you know, like
I suppose Portal's based on practicality too.
Yeah. Because I was making I was making the video, and that's an issue I had. I uploaded the video, and then I was like, wait, Portal is also a game based on practicality. Fuck. So hopefully no one points that out. But yeah.
You can just put it in the comments. By the way, I know Portal is like this.
By the way, you fucking hack. You don't play puzzle games. But yeah, that's the video, and I thought it was a cool idea, so I made a video about it. Other than that, I mean, I'm looking forward to making videos about, like, maybe Wonderful 101. I think
Other than that, you'll go dormant until Animal Crossing comes out.
I mean, that's my habit on YouTube. My trend on YouTube, my upload schedule has literally just been upload like 3 to 4 videos and then take a break for like 6 months because of school. Come back with a video starting off with, hey, sorry, I haven't uploaded in a while, and then repeat the cycle.
I remember back on your old
channel.
Not the Velcro Gamer.
That channel. That's being
I remember when you made like 5
update
number. Videos back to back or something.
Made 5 what?
Remember you made like a bunch of update videos all back to
back. Oh
back.
Yeah. No, there were literally like on that channel's deathbed was me uploading like 5 update videos, all separated by like 3 months apart. And then the channel just died, and I deleted it. I was like, I hate this. And then I came back, and I was like, yeah, I love this. So.
Oh my god.
That's sad.
Jesus Christ, man. The editing notes. I hope you're writing them down right now. The one that you definitely have to bleep is Social Security number.
Oh, no. Don't worry. I'll take care of that.
I hope you will.
I'll take care of that. Wink, wink.
Yeah.
Now you have my
perform identity theft.
I mean, what am I going to do with your Social Security number? I could do a lot, but I'm not going to.
Yeah. That's fair.
Liam, what have you been working on?
We should also probably like burn these recordings after. Just
I'll burn it to a CD
and then distribute it with your Social Security number.
Yeah, well, I'll bleep that out.
Okay.
Bazonko.
Anyway, yeah.
No,
Liam, what are you working on?
Sorry. Yeah, I just made a video on Half-Life, which blew up thanks to Vinny of Vinesauce, and I'm very grateful for that. But it's just been steadily gaining views, and I'm just glad that people gave it a chance because I worked really hard on it, and I really wanted to say something new about the series, even though it's very difficult, considering Half-Life is one of the most cited video games in the history of man. So, but yeah, no, I guess people really enjoyed it, so that's good. In the pipeline, I got some epic videos coming up. Epic. Sorry, I got to meet my quota for the day.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like hinting about like an epic game.
No.
Like an Epic Games.
The Epic Games storefront?
Yeah.
No. I just say epic because if I don't, then I might die.
Oh.
Like it's like having life support. That is my life support. I have to say epic and gamer.
You didn't say gamer though.
Well, I just did, so another 5 years to my lifespan.
All right.
Aren't
support
you
doesn't
also working on a music-related video?
Yeah.
Were you?
Yeah, no. I replayed.
I briefly skimmed the Discord announcement you made. I don't even know if that was the thing.
Yeah, no, it's a music video.
Okay, good.
Oh.
Not a music video, but a video on music.
That sounds cool.
Max Payne 3 is kind of a very contentious game in that trilogy. It is. Well, there are things about it. Gameplay-wise, it's fucking amazing. It is a very good, fun game to play. But plot-wise, it loses a lot of the Max Payne series' charm because Dan Houser's cynicism does not really work with the kind of dry wit that Max Payne has. But the one thing that
you should have omitted the last name and just had me wonder.
You could do that, Abdullah.
Too many things to censor.
But yeah, it's a video. The one thing that they did do really well was the soundtrack, which was composed by Health, which is a band. They are the reason. Well, the reason that I am a fan of their music is because of that game. That game convinced me to buy, I think, 2 of their albums on vinyl, and I went and saw them in Toronto recently because of that game. And it's just they created not just like a soundtrack that's good at accompanying the game. It's a character study through music. Kind of like what Yoko Shimomura has been doing in Kingdom Hearts with the characters.
AKA goddess work.
Yes. that it's going to be the start of a new series on video game music, particularly exceptional video game music.
So you'll make one on the entire Kingdom Hearts series?
Yes. Actually, yes.
On the entire series in one video?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Spoilers, I knew that.
Yeah. I didn't.
Well, now you know.
Where was
That's 'cause
my
I'm
insider
his-
information, Liam?
I'm married to him and not you.
Whoa, let's not bring this up again, please. Especially not in front of everyone listening to the podcast.
Our daughter.
Is that everything, Liam?
No, well,
anything
I'm
else?
also doing a video on a Zelda game,
Ooh.
which is a first for the channel.
Oh.
It feels like that.
Wait, didn't you do...
I mean, you've made
okay,
other
okay,
Zelda
yeah,
videos.
yeah.
Yeah, I really just want to make a video on every Zelda game. As soon as I
Yeah.
finish with this Zelda 2 one, I'm gonna go straight into Link to the Past. Straight in.
Straight in.
I've been working on it for months now because there's a lot to talk about with Link to the Past, and I want to cover everything. But I also with Zelda's. I'm sorry if I'm taking up too much time out of this segment.
No.
I had some stuff.
There's
to
no
talk
time
about.
limit. Just keep
That's
going.
that's
Rattle it
true.
off.
Just
That's
be
true.
interesting. That's the only...
Well, I could have failed already.
I'm just putting pressure on you.
That's
Don't
fine.
make me bring the gun back out.
Oh, God.
Well, all I was going to say was that I wanted to encompass... Zelda is a series that's a very interesting series. You can ask... Dana said this before as well, and I'm just kind of echoing what he said. You can ask a million different people what they think of a Zelda game, and you will get a million different answers. Because Zelda is something that has something for everyone, depending on your tastes, in what makes a Zelda game important to you. You could look all around the series. It's insane, and that's what I kind of want to capture in these Zelda videos going forward, is that no matter what I think of it, there are things that I think try to reach out to different people, right?
Yeah.
And I want to capture that. That's my goal. Is just you want to say something that hasn't already been
Well,
said.
then I'm
right?
interested in your Skyward Sword video already.
Yeah. Well, no, Skyward Sword totally has things going for it, so I don't like it, but
I would love to hear you talk positively about Skyward Sword for the PS3. Never gonna let that joke die.
nah, no. I just love it.
Actually,
I
yeah.
just love that you brought it back too, because I'm not exaggerating. No one knows what you're talking about.
I don't.
How old is that joke? That's got to be
2016.
like...
Wait,
Oh,
what?
2016. Yeah, because I said, "Oh, when I hit 1,000, I'm gonna do a video on Skyward Sword." It's been 3 years,
Well,
so yeah. But that's what I've been doing.
Dan?
Well, my latest video was A Link to the Past, which people told me fun things about after I worked very hard on... I ran into a brick wall with that video because I was like... I remember messaging you, Liam. I'm like, whoa, I love this game. And then, I played it a few more times, and I'm like, oh.
Oh.
Wait, you played it more times for the video or just in general?
I guess both. It's technically for the video, but
Wait, how
I
many
need
times
more
did you play it?
Like 3 times.
What?
I mean, that's what I do.
Link
for
to the
most of
Past
my
is a
videos.
replayable game.
Wait, you do that for
Yeah, it
most of
didn't
your
take
games?
very long. Yeah.
Oh god. Okay.
Unless it's like Xenoblade. I'm not
well,
gonna
I
play
guess,
Xenoblade
yeah, but
two
wait, why?
times.
Just to solidify your opinion on it, or?
I mean, I don't usually do. At max, I'll usually do 2. But if I'm struggling a lot, like I was with A Link to the Past, I'll probably give it another go.
I mean, that's like.
Because it didn't
Yeah, I've
take
had to
that
do that.
long. Because when you know what to do in A Link to the Past, you can beat it in 8 hours.
Yeah.
It's not that long. So.
You beat it in less if you bare minimum.
Yeah.
And the game has
So,
enough for you to do a bare minimum too. It's
Yeah.
well designed.
The problem I was running into is that I like the game. I know I like it because there are basically no Zelda games I've played that I dislike.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that I like it. And the first time I played it, I was like, "Whoa, this is awesome!" But then I played it again, and I played it again, and I spaced them out to make sure I wasn't burning out of it.
Yeah.
And I don't think the issue is that I burnt out of it. The issue is that I was having trouble explaining why it didn't feel as special as the other games.
Yeah, I've had that problem before.
And it just came down to me preferring the other Zelda games. And of course, when I said that in the video, it's like, this game came out in 1980 something.
You can't compare it to newer games.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, but like,
I mean, truthfully, that was the whole thesis of the video, was that it lost to.
Yeah.
What did you say in the?
It's just it lost its bite with age. Every single Zelda game that came out took a pot shot at A Link to the Past because, and to be fair, A Link to the Past, the only reason the future games were good is because A Link to the Past gave them the stepping stone to be good.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I get that, but like at the same time, that means that A Link to the Past has gotten smothered by their feet.
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, with the exception of a few games that are black sheeps, aka the one for the Wii that nobody can decide on, but like every other game. every other game has basically been successful off of A Link to the Past heels.
Yeah.
And that's why I was trying to say is that most other Zelda games have something to get me coming back, and then people didn't like that because you attacked your favorite game. It's not because of anything I said, it's because I was talking about A Link to the Past. I know that in my heart, and I just have to accept that and stop complaining about it. I know, but like,
well, the thing is,
it's baffling sometimes.
That just happens. Like, the bigger you are, the more people are going to hate you. It's like 10%. If you're, let's say you have 5,000 subscribers, if 90% of people like you, 10% are not going to like you. 10% is like, I don't want to do
Yeah,
that,
and I really try
small.
not to get hung up on my minority comments, but like sometimes I look at some of them and I'm just like,
dude,
it's not the ones that are like, it's not the ones that are like just like calling me dumb. Like, I can deal with that, but like, it's the ones that are like, the ones that say like, oh, you clearly did not put effort into this video. Like, it's clearly worse than the other ones.
You did not put effort.
Those Oof. Like, I've gotten a few like that, and those actually hurt because they're like, I spent an unusual amount of time making A Link to the Past because I was running into a brick wall.
It's the ones that, I mean, at least from my experience, I found that it's the ones that are like not genuine, but like they're like they know where to hit you. They're not like, oh, you're dumb. It's like, okay, yeah, I literally don't care. But then there's the ones that are like, they write like not even like a long paragraph, just the right length of like text that's just like, you're wrong and here's why, and you're just like, well, okay.
I have a let's do a little read, okay? Last summer I made a video on Manhunt 2, and the contrast between these two videos. This is related. I don't know if anyway. The contrast between those two videos is like, Manhunt 1 is very clearly a horror game. It's a very gruesome game in which you can murder your enemies very, very disgustingly in very gross detail, but it's also contextualized so that you're supposed to be afraid of everything that's happening. And everybody that you kill is worse than the character that you're playing as, who is actually a death row inmate. That's interesting, you know? And there's a lot more to it than that, but basically they took everything they did everything they could to make sure that Manhunt wasn't just a senseless, oh, you go around killing people game, you know? It's very hard to do it with a game like that. And that's why when Manhunt 2 dropped the ball, which I still think it did, and it used mental illness as an excuse for what was happening, and some of the enemies were completely innocent, and it was all strung along by this weak plot where they used the project to brainwash people.
Yeah.
And I'll read you right now. There was a comment that tried to justify what was happening with, hold on. Oh my god, I think it's the top comment too. Hold on.
Like, that's most always the worst comment? When the comment you hate is like one of the top comments.
Hold on, I'll give you a. I gotta go to the fucking video and I can't get to it. But it was. Oh yeah, here it is. Leo Casper was a living person with malicious intent traits inside his heart when he was alive. He is a parasite inside Daniel Lamb. I want you to try and explain what he's trying to say.
I don't.
What he's saying is the alternate persona that was trying to coax Danny into killing these people was alive in his heart.
So like,
as if
to
this
justify,
is a Kingdom Hearts game.
Like,
Kingdom Hearts Manhunt.
Reconnect Manhunt.
I would like to see Sora execute Kairi with a sickle.
Basically what happened, except replace Sora with Xehanort.
Anyway, like, he's trying to say that Leo was a manifestation, which, by the way, is still schizophrenia. He's explaining what schizophrenia is doing to him. And that is still using mental illness as an excuse for what's happening. That's bad. I don't understand how people can excuse that. But most of these comments are just like, hey, by the way, most of them are like Rockstar fans defending everything they do because they don't give a fuck. Even though Rockstar clearly does give a fuck when they're making social commentary. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, people would scoff at it, you know? Yeah. Anyway,
I mean,
that's the kind of shit that you face on occasion.
I had to move my cat off my lap.
I know the one that like annoyed me the most was, I don't even remember it specifically, but because I got a bunch of them, not a bunch, just like a few, on my Animal Crossing video, and that was like not even that was literally like no opinions involved, but people like still were like, oh wow, like one of them was like along the lines of your experience basically just like your experience is different than mine and therefore it's invalid. I was like, what? I was like, I didn't even say anything. Like, why are you...
See, okay, my dad told me something recently that I think is really, really wise. My INXS singer, I forget his name, but whenever he performed, he would wear the same T-shirt, and it said, "Let the world argue."
Yeah, that's
and
pretty...
It's like...
Yeah, like, I don't want to...
There are things where you just don't engage. Like, if people aren't going to realize that there's no value in doing something like that, you just don't bother.
Yeah.
I know though, because I read I read every comment for a few days and then I stop because then I can't really keep up with it. But like, I know there are more good ones than bad ones, but it's just like
it's always the bad ones that stick out.
Yeah. And it's hard to stop. Like, I don't know. I just think it was particularly bad with A Link to the Past because I noticed more bad like comments that were just like when they know how to hit you, really hurts, you know?
Yeah.
I don't like it when people... I like it when people, like, give their own opinion and I have a fun discussion with them, but, like...
Yeah.
I don't like when people are like, you rushed this video, or, like, you didn't put your full heart into this, and I'm like, why? Because
you know what, Dan? Speaking of that, to talk about Manhunt 2 again, I got a comment that you will love. Give me a second. That is related to that, like, exactly. You have to give me a second to bring it up again because I'm an idiot and I closed the tab. I
mean, I guess while you're bringing it up, I remember on my old channel with the infamous fucking Rayman video, because that was the second video I put out comparing two games to each other, and on that video it was like, it was just like, I think it was just like one line, and it was just like, this video... no, you peaked with the Sonic video. I was like, oh shit, like
you peaked.
Yeah, I was like, why? Like, why did you say that? Like, I mean, there's just no way to respond to it. There's no way to respond to someone saying that because you can also
I hate it because like there's no way to respond and then you left sitting there for like a day thinking about it.
And you can respond in the comments, but then you look like the asshole. You're like, why are you engaging with these people? It's like, but he just said like what? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't... Oh, God.
Once you get, like... That's the thing, too, is the easy response is, like, don't engage. But when you get so many comments, it's like, oh,
yeah.
Like, it's so hard to ignore some of them.
I found it. Your opinion is invalid because you don't like the game. Or your video... yeah, your video is invalid because you don't like the game.
This turned into a support group for like...
I got okay, let me make clear. I got some good comments. I got a lot of people agreeing with me. I got a lot of people disagreeing, but respectfully. And I liked those. I liked Pirikong. I don't know if that's how you pronounce your name, but like he's like my favorite commenter. Because even when he disagrees with me, he leaves like a long, detailed response.
So this guy, he has a channel called Designing 4, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like honestly, he's commented so many times that I followed him on Twitter and followed his YouTube. He's a pretty cool guy. Everything
he comments is valuable. Mm-hmm. Everything, even if it's constructive, everything. He's a great guy.
Yeah. I just want people to like explain themselves more thoroughly and not default to like you.
Well, again, just like
suck.
it really is just you have to tune it out.
Yeah.
I know it's hard, but
I mean,
it's
on the
true.
bright side, I am working on other things.
That's how I
I wa-
decided. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you go.
I was
I don't
gonna say
wanna-
that's how I learned to tune Twitter out. It's just
Yeah.
let the world argue philosophy was really really good. Anyway,
Yeah. I'm working on other stuff. I haven't decided specifically what to make next. I do this a lot. I have so many scripts. I wanted to make the Zelda randomizer video because I thought it'd be a nice companion to the Link to the Past where I was skewed negative. If I make a randomizer video, I'd probably skew positive. And
wouldn't
I'd
you
be
do like all randomizers?
just
like-
the idea of them in general
Yeah.
would be the video. Yeah. So like because I genuinely believe that randomizers can fix the problems I have with some of these games, like A Link to the Past or like Wind Waker. I know that's controversial. I'm sorry, but like I like those games.
Yeah,
when
that it's amazing how that flipped. When I was growing up, people hated it, but now people love it.
Yeah, well, I don't hate it. I just am not like.
You know what I mean?
Oh God, I feel like I have to say this in my videos so many times.
I
It's
don't
not
hate this
specifically at
game. I
you.
just want to.
I seriously have to keep saying that because nobody ever listens to me.
I know.
Like, I like Wind Waker. It's just not, like, my favorite, all right? I loved it when I was a kid. I don't think it's as great now. It's whatever. But when I played the randomizer of Wind Waker, I was really enjoying myself because it was an unorthodox way to experience it, but they also, like, they solved so many of my problems with it. Like, it felt like a game where I wanted to explore, and
I think the Wind Waker randomizer just straight up felt like a completely different game.
Yeah. And that's why I wanted to make a video about, like, how much this can, like, enhance a Zelda experience that I might not have once found. Like, I was playing A Link to the Past randomizer a bit, and I'm like, wow, this is breathing new life into it. It probably won't fix it entirely, but, like, this feels like it's... Because my biggest problem with A Link to the Past is it feels like it wasn't committing to anything. And when you play the randomizer, you're like, oh, at least it's committing to this. Even though it's not the game's fault that it even happened. It's just a randomizer program. But, like, I just think there are, like, interesting implications for it, like how it turns the world into a giant dungeon, almost, like, and the key, like, especially if you play with key lunacy, where they hide dungeon keys
Oh,
everywhere.
yeah, that's right, yeah.
Like, it's so crazy, and it can make old, tired experiences, like, fresh, like when you were a kid again.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I'm going to try the Mario 64 randomizer. I didn't even know that existed. I'm excited about that.
Once I become more familiar with A Link to the Past and Super Metroid, I want to try that one where they put them together. Have you heard about that?
Yes.
Where, like, you enter a room and all of a sudden you're playing A Link to the Past, and you enter another room and you're playing Super Metroid. That sounds like insane.
Oh, it's awesome.
But I'm working on that. I haven't actually wrote a script, though, so that might not come out soon.
Yeah.
The one, I have a completed script for Birth by Sleep that I'm tweaking still, so that will probably just be the next video, to be frank. 'Cause
I was going insane the other day. I thought you already put that video out.
No.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I was like, why are you recording this again? And you're like, I didn't put the video out.
I just don't have footage for it.
I just had a heart attack. I thought my audio
I've
wasn't
had that-
recording.
That would be bad. I've had that script done, quote unquote, for a long time, just tweaking it. I do that with a lot of my scripts. So, I think it's finally done, though. I think I finally am proud of it, and I'm going to make it. But I have to play Aqua now. And then
Round of
finally-
applause for Dan.
And I'm going to put it out, and they'll be like, where's the Link Between Worlds? And I'll be like, okay. And then I'll make a Link Between Worlds. And
Dude, where's Mario Sunshine?
you know, oddly, not that many people ask for the Mario videos anymore after I made Sunshine.
Well, because it was just, I think it was probably just like Sunshine that was the meme, and then...
Yeah, well, you also announced it as a series, too, at that
Yeah.
point, but then you changed your the way you do things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought that I would have passion for it the way that I do for Zelda, but I just don't. Like, I like Mario, but I don't think I have the discussion passion for it like I do with Zelda. Like,
Yeah.
And
I think I just like Zelda as a series more, you know, to be frank.
Yeah. I mean,
But
I don't
that's
think
all
you have to
I-
guess for my case.
Yeah. It's just hard for me to discuss Mario because it feels like it's been done a lot.
Oh yeah, well you could say that about Zelda too.
Yeah, but like I don't think Zelda discussion has dug deep enough. Like obviously
Zelda
there's,
discussion can well that's another thing about the series that I mentioned earlier, right? Zelda
think Mario's
discussion
just-
will never end.
Mario is just like I could talk about Odyssey next real easy. The problem is when you get to the other games, the other 3D games, they just feel so like Mario to me feels so like simple that it's I don't know what to say, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everybody
hard for me to-
The thing is that's what we were saying about Zelda being so different for everybody, but Mario is like Mario doesn't have the
That's why
This is gonna
like,
sound
that's why
really
I
stupid,
made
but-
videos for 64 and Sunshine and Odyssey because they feel like they're flawed and they have interesting things to say. Like
Yeah. Especially Sunshine. Sunshine has a lot of things right and wrong with it.
yeah, and then you play Galaxy and you're like, oh, that was fun. Like it's just really hard to talk about.
Yeah, with well, Galaxy to me is just like, well, that's. I guess you also have to find a topic. Like, remember Barry's video on Mario Galaxy?
Yeah.
Mhm.
That was
that was good.
something new.
I'm not saying it can't be done. I
Yeah.
just personally struggle with it.
Well, Zelda as a whole is just based on so many different. Like, there are so many different things people look for in Zelda, so the discussion
Yeah.
will never end. Mario is just like, you know what you're looking for in a fucking Mario game.
Yeah, and the game makes it
Yeah.
clear what it's going to be about at the beginning. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, compare like the two most, according to people at least recently, the most innovative games in the series, like Odyssey and Breath of the Wild. Odyssey is just like from the get go. It's like it's clear what you have to do, how you're going to do it, when you're going to do it, where you're going to do it. Breath of the Wild is just like go do things. So like comparing the two is like very. One knows what it's. I mean, they both know what they are, but like one makes it
Yeah.
easier to understand, and then the other is more like
That's why Breath of the Wild discussion is never going to end.
yeah, for better or for
Yeah.
worse.
I mean, that's what I've been working on, so I don't have much else to say about what like I have a lot of scripts, but
Chance Time is dead.
yeah, I'm working on Mario Party 3. It's just like I have
Dead.
to be in the mood. Like
Chance
because what
Time is
I have
dead.
to I have to find a place for it. Like I'm still really excited to make it. It's just a lot of work, like a lot.
You have to find a place for it in the ground because it's dead.
Well, the one with Mario Party 3 is I got to play the dual mode still, and I haven't gotten around to it.
Mario Party 3 is like got good. It needs better boards. Some of the boards are.
Well, that's the other thing is I have to look at all the boards for like hours and be like, okay, what's one good and which one bad?
I didn't actually realize how much work Dan puts into the Chance Time episodes, but that's why they're so spaced apart.
Yeah, it's just a lot of like it's less playing and it's a lot of thinking. It's not even writing. It's just a lot of thinking before I write.
Yeah.
Because I also have to consider like it's not like about good and bad. It's more like about what balance of like luck and skill is in this board or
Yeah.
strategy.
Yeah,
Like how does it grapple with that? Do I like it? What do I dislike about it? Has it been done better? Could it be done better? Is it just am I being unfair to it? Is it an
Am I a
interesting
moron?
gimmick? Is it an interesting gimmick or is it like I have to do a lot of like and there are a lot of things I need in my script I need to just explain, like new spaces and the new item system and see how that fares to the other item system. And then see how the minigames, like, I have to go through every individual minigame and be like, is this better than the other ones? Is this good? Is this fun on its own? Or is this okay for a minigame that only lasts for 15 seconds and serves its purpose on the board? It's just so much to fuck. And then Mario Party 3 is like, we also have a dual mode and a story mode. I'm like, please, just,
there's
like,
a story
stop.
mode in that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I looked into it more and it's not actually that much. It's just like you play a board and there's like a very small text box and then you play another board.
Oh,
That's as far as I remember. That's what Mario Party DS does too.
Well, DS actually feels kind of... I mean, that is basically what it does, but it feels like it has more interesting cutscenes. Like, it has actual bosses in that game. But whatever. We should probably talk about what we've been playing now.
Anyway,
so we don't, like...
yeah,
Those
go on about
games.
this.
yeah. I mean, pretty much. Honestly, that's for me. The only thing I've been playing recently is Quantum Conundrum. I'm gonna start Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze tonight, which is a game I always look forward to replaying. I don't know.
Fuck, dude. Now I want to go play that game.
It's a really good game. I really like it.
Yeah, I'd love to play that game, but I'd have to drop 60 on it or get my Wii U.
It's pretty good. I thought you already beat it.
I did, but I don't remember it very well.
Oh.
You have those games you played at release and you don't remember anything about them, like
kind of, yeah. That's like
that's
Captain Toad for me.
Tropical Freeze for me. Is I technically beat it. Spent like a fucking hour on the final boss, but like, and then I just forgot about it.
I really like that game. I don't know what the video is going to be about because I'm recording it. I'm not just playing it for fun. But
yeah, nothing is fun anymore.
I mean, I probably should. I mean, I don't know. I mentioned this in like a video. I don't even remember which one. It was recent. I don't really play games, and like the games I do play for fun nowadays are either the rare game like Spider-Man or Undertale, where it's just like it captivated me from the get-go, and I didn't drop it after like 15 minutes, or it's a multiplayer game that I'm playing with friends. So
yeah,
which is kind of bad, but.
Yeah, multiplayer games take away a lot of time from productivity.
Yeah.
They are hurtful. But I started playing Minecraft an insane amount lately. It's been like I've just been logging onto my brother's world and making shit that might be of practical use. And then I've been like, oh, I'm out of supplies. I got to go get some iron and gold. And I'll come back and I'll make something new. You know, and I'll log on for like a couple hours and then just make something and it'll be done. It's really nice, relaxing kind of. It also lets me, in that time, I just think, you know, while I'm building stuff.
Yeah.
I just think about a lot of different things because there's not much else to really consider with Minecraft. It can be whatever you want to be.
Yeah.
It's kind of one of the most important games of the last 10 years. It's pretty cool what you can do with it.
I mean, that's why, like, I love Animal Crossing so much, and oh my god, I just want the new one. Because, like, that game, literally with every other game, I'm always like, I need to collect everything. If I don't collect everything, I'm just a fucking...
a loser.
Yeah, like, there's no point in playing this game, and that's what ruins collectathons for me, is not the game itself, but my attitude towards it. But with Animal Crossing, I'm just like, I don't need to fill up the museum, I don't need to get all the emotes, I just, like, play. And it's like, I think about stuff, and it's fun.
Yeah. I guess the one big time sink that for me has been the game Splitgate, which just came out. My brother and I have been ritually just been playing it after school. He asked to play with me, and I've been doing it. I've been like learning different portal routes so I can like sneak up behind people and just fuck them. Not literally, but you know.
Yeah, I only played that for one night, and it was pretty fun.
The game looks cool.
It's like. It is straight up... The easiest way I can describe it is just Halo with portals. Like, with a portal gun. And it
sometimes feels like they literally copied code from it. You know what I mean? Like, it feels like eerily similar.
Well, it's faster, that's for sure. But it does feel pretty Halo-esque. But the ingenuity it requires from the player is what I probably turned people off. People were criticizing the maps on the Steam reviews, and I'm just like, no, it's about how you figure out how to get around the maps. The maps are only as good as you can make them. You know? You use portals to get to wherever you want to go, and you can use these portals however you like, using momentum. You can use them for shortcuts. You can keep one open so you can shoot people at any angle. I remember a friend of my brother's, we added him to the party, and on Domination, he had a sniper, and we had put a portal open for him, and he had a view of all 3 points. So he was just killing people from the portal. It was incredible. And we won that match.
Game. Well, when I played, I sucked pretty bad, but like it's because I was trying to figure out fun ways to use the portals. You know?
Yeah.
So I didn't do a lot of killing.
I'm pretty sure now you can just... No, there have always been custom games. You can just go in there and mess around.
What I would like to do is like put a portal on the other side of the map and then put one on my side and just look through it and then check my 6 every once in a while and just be like...
Yeah.
Sometimes I'd go through the portal and get a pot shot, go back, close the portal behind me so people can't follow me. Yeah. Like that kind of shit's real fun.
And it can only get better from here too.
I was watching somebody in Capture the Flag, I think, or actually it was Oddball. Whatever lets you go through portals, and you like go through a portal and you close it behind you.
Oh, Oddball.
Yeah, that shit's like...
Oddball is insane in that. Oddball was already fun in Halo, but in Splitgate, you can use portals to get away with the Oddball. It's crazy. Capture the flag is still a little broken, but like you can capture flags while the enemy team also has yours out and about. So that's a little broken. But Oddball is as fun as it was in Halo, if not more fun with the portals. It's yeah, I'm enjoying Splitgate a lot. Other than that, single player wise, I've just been what was the game I just was recently playing? God, I forgot what it was called. It doesn't matter. Oh, Ace Combat 7. Yeah, Ace Combat 7 was what I was playing. That game's fun.
Every time people mention those games, I keep, like, in my head, when people say the word Ace, I'm just like, Ace Attorney? And then they talk about combat, and for a minute, or for a second, like, the two get mixed up in my head. I'm like, Ace Attorney flying planes? And then it's just, I finally realized what people are talking about.
And then I say 7, and you're like, they made 7 of those?
It's the game I wanted, E3.
Ace Attorney flying planes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. Apparently VR mode is... You know what? That would terrify me. VR Ace Combat? No. I would die of a heart attack.
VR Ace Attorney. That would terrify me.
That would terrify me too.
You get Edgeworth yelling at me.
Especially when they show evidence.
Yeah.
I still like to play those games.
Edgeworth would be like, you fucking idiot. Why the fuck are you in court?
I have the trilogy on Switch. Actually, that may be the next.
You should
thing
play
I start
it. Those
playing.
games are awesome.
Yeah, I want to.
Yeah,
I really
they
want to
are.
try them out.
The fuck, they're good.
They have really good music, surprisingly.
Yeah. Capcom games usually do, though.
I've been playing. I haven't been playing Ace Attorney recently enough to like. It was like a month ago, I think, at this point. But like, I played Ace Attorney 3 and Apollo Justice, but those are kind of just like I like them. They were more fun Ace Attorney games. Not much else to say there. I still have not beaten Sekiro. Don't know if I ever will. One day. I just can't like.
Is the boss really that hard for you?
Well, it was hard enough that I tried one night and then I tried another night and then like a week went by and I was like, I should play Sekiro, and then I didn't play it. You know what I mean? Like, I
you know what?
That wall where I'm like,
This is where you look up the final boss on YouTube and then you say that you've beaten it.
I don't know if it's inherently Sekiro's fault or if because like
No, it's your fault.
I really
continue.
like that game, but once I got to the final boss, I just with the other Souls games, I really persevered. With like Undertale, I persevered. I gave Sans the fucking finger after like an entire night. But like with Sekiro, I kept doing that for a while. But it felt like it's not like the game's long, but like it just kind of felt like at some point I was like, okay, I'm over it. You know, like I don't know, like I got to the final boss, I'm like, I don't care anymore. I don't know if that's bad. Like
No, yeah, that's
clearly I haven't beaten it yet, so I just like, and I've had time for it. I've looked at my PS4 sometimes and I'm like, let's play. And then I don't, because I don't know if I care anymore, and it's kind of sad because I really love some of the things that game does, but I just don't like.
I think it's fair though. I mean, I wouldn't be able to remember what games from memory, but I've definitely had that where it's like whether the boss is like hard or just annoying or something like whatever, and I'm just like, is this like, why am I doing this even? Like,
It's not even that he's hard, because there are a lot of hard bosses in that game, and I got through all of them. But like by the time you're doing like the 8th boss that you've been stuck on, you're like, I don't know, man. Like,
yeah. You're just like I have limited time.
And that's the weird thing, is that the other games had stuff to draw me in besides just the combat, if you know what I mean. Like Bloodborne has one of the best worlds in any game I've ever seen. Like, so I would just explore Bloodborne to see what was around the next corner, like what fucking weird monster or like lore shit would be dumped. And Sekiro is like more traditional storytelling. The combat is better than other Souls games, but like it's still like the game focuses a lot on combat, and it forsakes a lot of the things that I didn't realize I liked about the Souls games, which were like I figured out that I primarily liked the Souls games for their worlds atmosphere and just general tone, if you know what I mean. Like, how the games felt oppressive to play.
Yeah.
How they were kind of like, in a sense, like Bloodborne, I'd straight up consider a horror game because it's like the difficulty makes it a scary experience.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sekiro is like, they've enhanced the combat, they've made some really cool shit you can do, but like, it's still shackled to being a Souls combat system, so it's not like, it's not as in-depth as something like Devil May Cry 5, which I was playing at almost the same time, which is infinitely more like in-depth, or something like Kingdom Hearts 3, which is not as in-depth a system. Well, actually, I don't think Sekiro is even that in-depth a system. It's just like fun. But KH3 had other things going for it, like the conclusion of the story and like how they would make boss fights that are like 3-on-1 or like 3-on-3 or whatever. Like that Kingdom Hearts has a lot of cool mechanical narrative things going for it. And then I look at Sekiro and I'm like I had my time with it, and I don't think I will go back. Like, it presented interesting ideas that I liked a lot at the time, and then I just stopped. Like, there's a point at which I stopped remembering the game or thinking about it or caring about it, and just made me want to go play other things.
That's fair.
It's kind of sad now that I've reflected on that.
This whole podcast has just been like support group after support group of different topics.
Yeah.
First with like comments, and now it's like, oh, I'm just tired of games.
What have I played that I can like even? There was something I was about to say. I guess I've played Ocarina of Time, but I just like I
Everybody
don't know what to
has
say
played
about that.
Well, I mean, I haven't finished it, so.
Yeah, but you've played it.
I guess, yeah, technically.
Yeah, but you've played it to the end. Because
Me?
everybody's finished it. Everybody has played Ocarina of Time, the best game ever made.
I guess I can talk about Final Fantasy VII. That's like the most I've played a game recently. And it's
Okay.
like... Hey, I don't know. Now that I think about it, what can I say? I'll say, I said things to you about it, Liam, where like...
Yeah,
It
has
just
good
feels
pacing.
like...
Well, fast pacing.
It has strange pacing, is what I'll say. It has, like, not necessarily good or bad. It's just kind of like things just keep happening very rapidly. And I haven't had time to process it fully.
I think by the time you finish the game, you'll probably appreciate it.
Yeah. I don't know currently, because I'm at the gold saucer. And things are just so weird. They're just so weird. I don't get it. Well, like, part of me just wants to wait for the remake.
That's what I'm doing.
Like,
but also, I've never.
I also want to play Final Fantasy VII. You know, I want to.
Yeah.
It's not even out of interest at this point. It's out of like pure curiosity. That's what's driving me right now.
I'm sorry I knocked into my mic. Yeah, no, you know what? Final Fantasy VII is one of my favorite traditional RPGs. And even with the remake on the horizon, I think everybody should give it a shot. Its turn-based combat system isn't really... Well, it's not turn-based, I wouldn't say.
One thing I have a definite opinion on is that the music is awesome. I really like the music.
I think most people can agree.
That's like the only thing I have a definite opinion on, though. Everything else is just like, I'll wait and see, I guess.
Yeah, I think everybody should give it a shot. And the remake, you know what? It's going to play kind of like Kingdom Hearts, right?
Yeah.
From what it looks like, yeah.
Assuming that it carries with it the mechanical depth that Kingdom Hearts has would establish for itself as the series went on, particularly in games like 2, it's going to be worth it. Because it's going to be... I still... Like, Final Fantasy VII still has amazing story beats, and I love the characters, I love the world especially. That universe is something I never want to leave when I revisit the game. So, if they're doing them justice, then you know what? Fine, play the remake, you know? The remake is still going to let you appreciate the world. I just think maybe people should go back and give the turn-based system a shot.
Yeah.
I keep saying turn-based, but it's not. It's like, it kind of reminds me of Chrono Trigger a little bit.
That's
I
a
haven't
game
played
I've been
much
meaning to
of,
play.
Chrono Trigger also, from what I've played, has great pacing. I love RPGs with pacing that is not a slog to get through. You know, I like Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door, both 1 and 2. You know, I like those games because of their amazing pacing. Actually, Paper Mario 1 might have even better pacing. The dungeons are especially like really complex and unique in Paper Mario 1. Paper Mario 2 just has better partners and all that, you know, and a better battle system overall. But I like games like that. Games that have the cornerstones of traditional RPGs but aren't afraid to throw out the stuff that doesn't really work or would alienate certain people. That's why I love Paper Mario. That's why I love Final Fantasy VII. To an extent, at least. There are things about it that I think will alienate people. But anyway, we kind of got sidetracked there, but
just talking about
it's
games.
still it's related to that.
Yeah. Do we want to take questions?
I guess I was gonna say the only thing left is the question.
Sure.
Questions.
So we do have 2 questions. I guess we'll try to get through both of them, but if it takes us a long time to like get through one, we'll see. The first one was from Sean on the Last Life Discord, who asks, what are some genres that you think would make for an interesting combination?
Well, I'll answer this first because I thought about it for a bit.
Yeah, sure.
One of my favorite games last year was Dead Cells because of its approach to a roguelike. And I thought I was wondering how you would do that with a game like Zelda, you know, where you have definite progression cornerstones like dungeons and items, but the way you proceed towards them is completely, you know, it's procedurally generated, and different things are procedurally generated, kind of like Darksiders 2. And Darksiders 2 is the closest to a roguelike action adventure that I think we're going to get, or we have gotten. We're going to get. I don't know what people are going to make.
Yeah.
But kind of like that. That's the genre that I would love to see. Because Darksiders 2, I can confidently say, is one of my favorite games now. I love the way they approached, they combined the items that are the important pieces of every dungeon, and dungeons are still relevant. But the way you progress through is entirely different each time because of the loot and the way you mix and match,
mm-hmm.
and the weapons you use and the different things you can do with the weapon, the possessed weapons. You feed them and you can give them different attributes and make like these insane weapons. Whatever you know benefits you or whatever you want to use, you can do that with the possessed weapons. You just feed weapons with like fire attributes into them, and you can have a fire weapon if you want. You know.
Yeah,
so something like
be...
that. Something like that, something like Darksiders 2, but evolve upon that, because you'd be making one of my favorite games.
That would be.
Those are the kind of games that I love anyway, though. So
yeah, I mean that would be like just the idea of like upgrading. I mean, the idea of upgrading weapons is not always, but it's been in Zelda for a while. But like that idea of like just like, if I'm understanding correctly,
well, I know not like a roguelike, but I know what you mean.
I know. I mean the idea in general has been there. But it would be kind of cool if you just like in a procedurally generated world, you like found an enemy dropped a thing, or enough enemies dropped like a part or something, and you were like.
That's the other thing too with Darksiders 2. Darksiders 2's world isn't procedurally generated. The world stays intact. It's the loot system that makes it different each time. And I would like to see the world also change on your way to each dungeon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that'd be cool. So that's my dream game, at least for what I could think of right now.
That would be kind of cool. I'd like to see them. A procedurally generated Zelda, like in general, would kind of be.
Yeah, cool. But that would also, they would have to take some. The next 2D Zelda that isn't a fucking remake, that they're gonna have to take some damn risks.
Yeah.
If they're gonna do that.
I don't know if I would like a procedurally generated Zelda, but then again, I can't say until I play one. So who knows?
I mean, not like. I'm assuming that they would keep Zelda, like what makes it Zelda, but also like.
I just like. I don't like procedural generation in general, if you know what I mean. Like, I don't like the idea of it. Just doesn't appeal to me personally. Any game I've tried, like I tried Dead Cells and I was like, I don't. It's just.
Yeah, well, I didn't ask you.
I don't like games that are like. I don't like games that aren't
consistent.
crafted like by hand level design wise, because they just kind of feel like it feels.
Dead
kinda
Cells
aimless.
still is. It's just the
Yeah,
placement
I know,
is different.
but like when it's procedurally generated, it just feels kind of aimless, and that's okay because people like that. It's just
I don't know
it's
about
not for
that.
me. It's not for me.
Aimless? Are you sure?
That's just how I feel about the game. So yeah, I'm sure.
Okay. Well,
I kind of get that.
I mean, it's that I'm definitely not an objective person. I'm not like
I'm someone
people can
who's-
look at that statement and be like, "Oh, you're saying something."
yeah.
I'm trying to
objectively," but
understand.
that's just how I feel. Is when I'm playing the game, I feel like I'm just wandering around a thing that was created randomly, and I don't like that. Because I mean, obviously that's the goal of the game, but I just don't like that. It's just not for me. It's not a crazy concept to understand.
I think it's like it's depending on.
That's why I don't want it in Zelda personally.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I think it
it's
depends.
kinda
well, I
like
understand.
I
It's
don't
just. I was just wondering. What would
that's what I ran into with Breath of the Wild too, which is it's not procedurally generated, obviously, but like when you go.
Well, it has elements that are like that.
Yeah,
like the items.
when you make something so expansive and you start getting rewards that are like don't feel special anymore, it just is like. I start thinking about the other games where I'm like, oh, you like do a trading sequence, you get the big Goron sword or something like.
Yeah, I think Bitch mentioned something. Heavy-eyed. He mentioned something to me like that when he was playing Darksiders 2.
Yeah. It's just why I don't like procedural generation is because it definitely works for people, and I respect that. But when I play games that are like that, it just makes me feel like. It makes me feel weird, like maybe I'm getting a bad seed, or like am I really not enjoying myself because I don't like the game, or is it because the game's like randomly generating something that's bad, and maybe if I re-roll I'll get something better?
Yeah.
But the truth of it is that it's just it doesn't. I don't think procedural generation creates an experience for me that I will resonate with, like a handcraft, like a game that is just made the way that it is, and that you experience the way that it is.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing with a Zelda that's procedurally generated. I would still want defined items in each area. You know, I wouldn't want it to be a random item each time. That's a randomizer kind of game, and I would like that, but I wouldn't like a randomizer that is procedurally generated. That would be bad. I don't think I would like that at all. That would hurt. But a randomizer Zelda game? Fuck, I would love that.
I mean, yeah, I can't really say for sure unless I play a game like that whether I would like it. I just have a feeling I wouldn't, but it's an interesting combination, I guess.
Okay, Genius, what were your two favorite genres? What do you want to put together?
Can you skip me?
Sure. I mean, like in general or for now?
I don't. All I have is like meme answers. Like,
all right.
I think I said dating sim FPS last night.
I seriously am still trying to think of one. So
you go on a date with someone and then you take out a gun.
Is FPS game? Well, I guess technically, I was gonna make a joke, but that fell flat. on its
FPS
face.
games are first-person shooters.
Really?
Frames per second.
Frames per second games.
Ew! Oh god, where you manipulate your FPS to clear the game.
Ew. That wouldn't be. Ugh. It's like super hot but bad.
Yeah, you're right. Max Payne, except it's a technical problem.
I don't know. For me, I would say like. Okay, do either of you know Divinity 2? Or have heard of it?
Yes.
It's like Dungeons and Dragons, but a video game, and not Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, it's.
I need you to hold on.
No, it's like I mean, like it is
because
Dungeons and
it's-
Dragons. It's just not that not with that
Oh.
name. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's because you get they let you do basically anything you want in it. Like,
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I would like that crossover.
when I had
like-
that game described to me, I was like, "This sounds too good to be true." Like, there has to
I
be-
played it with friends, and it's really fun. We haven't stopped we stopped playing it for a while just because of like different schedules and stuff. But
I own the game. We should play it.
Yeah,
sometime,
I'd be down.
'cause
It's
I really
really
wanted
fun.
to play it.
And you can just like you can do anything, and like if your party is missing a fourth player, you can invite NPCs or be like, hey, no, I don't want you, or like have them join you and be like, I'll help you if you help me, and then ditch them halfway through. It's like it. I love that idea.
That's
like,
awesome.
Yeah, like just you can like do
Holy
anything.
fuck! That sounds amazing.
I mean, from
all
what I
three
played,
of us
it's pretty
should play
fun.
it. All
They
three of us
they
should.
made that a game.
Yeah,
All three of us should play it.
we will. We'll
Right
do it.
now.
We'll do it. Not
We'll
no. Stop
abandon the
booting it up. Don't
podcast.
boot it up. Don't stop. I can hear you clicking. But I think that would be a cool game or like genre. I don't know what genre that is. Like D&D. I don't know.
It's kind of like a
The
tabletop
I was gonna say an
sim,
immersive
almost.
sim.
I guess yeah. I think that would be cool to mix with like make it in like a. I keep mixing up the genres.
Even
like-
immersive sims have like defined lines. This is just everything.
Yeah.
You know?
I
It's
mean,
like
because
so
you're
yeah,
not like
tabletop
rolling
sim.
on like turns or whatever. It's just like you do
Yeah.
things. I think that would be cool, but in like an action game kind of sense. Not action, adventure. Well, like yeah, I guess action game, like a 3D action game. Like I feel like that would be cool. Like if you could play like a imagine like a Kingdom Hearts like style like combat system or something.
It was that, but you have the choice to go up and kick Xemnas in the balls.
I mean, just like shit like that, like teaming up with the dark side or like that would just be like so insane. I mean, obviously in the Kingdom Hearts context that would be insane, but like in like a action
if you had
game,
if you had like action mechanics with something like that, you just play that game endlessly.
yeah, or like something where like you can
I
like
really want to play this game now because I've wanted to get into D&D for so long, but it's just such a hassle.
it is, yeah,
And this sounds like a happy medium. Like
yeah. Like the character
I wanna
creator
do
is
that.
just there for you. You don't have to roll. There's no like dungeon master or anything. It's just there. And
Yeah, it
we
doesn't
should
suck.
we should plan a day for that.
We should. I'd be down.
Yeah.
But also, I get what you mean.
Yeah, like imagine just like, or imagine like a game where like, because the combat system is there that you can turn on each other as like party members, and then like actually just fight each other and see who's better. Like I don't know, stuff like that would be cool. I think. But you can't really do that in like a. Like, it's I don't know what the like top down camera perspective. Where it's just like you click and right click and move to places. Like you can't really do that. Also, the combat is turn based in that game, which kind of
In what?
in Divinity. So me and turn based combat don't get along very well. But
Well, I mean, to be fair, this game lets you do whatever you want. And
No, yeah,
turn-based
yeah,
combat,
yeah.
turn-based combat is in D&D anyway.
I know, yeah. It's just I think
So-
I think it would be cool if it was like an action game and it's just like you fight. And it's just like all right, go.
Yeah.
And you can like heal each other and there's like a wizard, sort of like. No, not like WoW. More better than WoW.
Damn, that would be a crazy game.
Yeah, I think it'd be pretty cool. So that's my answer, I guess. Dan?
Well, I can't really. All of these answers I'm in my head, I'm like, they're just so dumb. Like,
I mean, just
I was like,
I thought you were talking about us for a second.
No, I just have so many, like, what if you made a rhythm game into a fighting game? Like, I don't know. Like, none of
That
these
is a
sound
good
good.
idea.
None of these sound good to me.
isn't that a thing?
I'm pretty sure.
What I settled on is the idea of a type of genre that, like, subgenre hybrid thing that, like, all right. So, imagine something like Super Monkey Ball, but it was, like, faster.
You
Like,
gave them a gun.
Imagine Super Monkey Ball, but instead of like self-contained obstacle courses, it was like a platformer. I'm not talking about the game they already made. I'm talking about like a high-speed platformer based on Monkey Ball, if you know what I mean. Like where it has like, instead of like a self-contained obstacle course, it's more like you have the control of Monkey Ball, but you're going like down a long path of platforms almost.
Oh
like,
shit.
Like
Okay,
sort
yeah.
of like Sonic Generations, but like with Monkey Ball controls.
Yeah, it kind of like the Boost Sonic games, but with more control over your character, like less
Yeah.
like going down a hallway and more like
It's
you have to
funny
control
too because
your
you only
momentum of it.
you only use the control stick with Monkey Ball, but you have more control than the Sonic Generation series or the Boost series.
Maybe it's more like the Marble game I played, but with like better level design. Like I kind of want more games like that, because that Marble game, control wise, I was like, well, you could do so much with this, because it has a jump button.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
Monkey Ball obviously works without a jump button, because if you had a jump
Banana
button,
Blitz had a jump button, and your momentum resets every time you hit it. And the levels were designed not for the jump button, except for some instances
that's
where
why
they
that
force it
doesn't
upon
work.
you. Yeah.
But I'd like to see a Monkey Ball type control scheme with a jump button that had levels fit for it that were like fast.
I mean, that does sound cool.
I wonder if there is a game like that. That isn't.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the Marble game I played was the closest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But the problem is it had levels that were like Super Monkey Ball, which is why it sucked, because it was so fucking easy. That was the other reason why it sucked. But it was.
Yeah, I was excited for it too. I was like, "Oh, Monkey Ball!" And then Dan said, "This is a waste of $20. You should burn $20, and you'd be getting a more enticing experience."
It's just like there's no reason to play it, because if like there was no level in it where I felt like I needed to retry it. I was just like, "Oh, we're done." It just feels so simple. I don't know.
I mean,
I want more games like that are done well. Monkey Ball practically dropped off the face of the planet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Aren't they making? What's that Kickstarter game that you guys were talking about?
Oh, that's rolled out. I backed that. It's just Monkey Ball, straight up, and it has a level editor built in.
You know, I've never actually looked at this. Let's on live. We're gonna look at this.
Dan, it straight up is Monkey Ball, like to a T. It looks exactly
Super
like
Monkey
a Monkey
Ball
Ball
is
game.
finally getting its Sonic Mania moment.
Ooh,
Bruh moment.
that's
what the video is called. Let's look at footage. Holy shit! This is like.
like, is it just like the same structure? Like the levels are the same?
Oh, this is.
No,
actually,
the levels are not the same.
No, not like literally the same, but like the same idea. I
Yeah,
guess.
They're designed with that philosophy.
Oh, okay.
The GameCube philosophy, not the ones after that where they shit the bed.
I mean, I only played the one on.
No, this looks pretty awesome. That's the thing though, is that I don't want to get excited for it, because like the level design really is a sticking point here. If you fuck it up, it's just there's no point, you know. Like
I've seen a ton of levels through the Kickstarter. They're Monkey Ball levels. They are pretty damn good levels. And even if it fails, like there's a level editor.
Yeah.
Where
yeah,
people are
you
probably going to be
that'll be
uploading
good.
incredible levels. And there's also like Lua scripting. So you can like make more complex behaviors in the levels.
I mean, what would be cool, like if like Dan or whoever just took the level editor and just made like a high speed, not platforming. I guess
I'm not sure if it can facilitate that, but maybe.
I mean, I don't know. You never know. You could just like
I think
proof
with
of concept or whatever.
Monkey Ball actually has levels where you go at massive.
Yeah, they have a few
speeds.
levels where you like go down a slide or like, you know.
But I guess it's like building upon that. Like
No, that's not
so
necessarily
just
what I
like-
mean when I say like, because I'd rather have involved platforming at high speed.
Yeah.
I guess it's
Yeah.
more like less about Monkey Ball and more about good Sonic.
That would be that would be an insane level. That I'm thinking about like platforming while going at that speed. That would be a really good level.
Well, that's why I've
hard,
always
though.
wanted. I've always wanted the boost games to focus less on boosting and more on you being able to jump where you want to go at that speed.
Yeah.
You know?
See, that's why like
Levels. Well, they do have levels.
Ideally, I'd want an adventure style game that was faster paced, like, you know.
everything you're saying is hurting me so bad because like you said like before that well just now you said like you want an adventure style game that's fast paced. That was supposed to be Lost World, but that didn't pan out at all. And then before that you said like I want to be able to platform at high speeds, and I was like, wait, Unleashed, no. Color, no. Generate,
Exactly.
no.
It's like it's so weird to say, but it feels like that game, that kind of like high, like that's why I'm answering it like this, because it's kind of like high speed mixed with platformer.
Yeah.
This is gonna sound harsh, but I don't think Sonic Team is competent enough to come up with a game like that.
No, that's what I was also about to say.
I don't want Sonic Team to make it. I want somebody.
Yeah.
to.
I was about to
Exactly.
say we're more
That's
likely
exactly
to get it from
why I
someone
want-
else than Sonic Team.
That's exactly why I want
And
somebody
actually,
else to
there
take
was
the reins.
there was a game that came out recently that I bought. I haven't played it yet, but it looks genuinely interesting. It's Spark the Electric Jester 2.
Oh, the 3D one?
Wait, they made a second one?
Yeah, it's a 3D. It's based on like it's kind of like Adventure Sonic, but it's more like the way that I'm describing it is kind of like that game where it looks. I've seen some of the levels. Like if you look it up, they have like they let you maintain momentum with your jumps and like go at high speed and like jump at something and maneuver. It kind of looks like Boost level design, but with like
That's
adventure
amazing.
controls.
I might actually check it out because I was looking at I saw like a second from the video or no I heard about it and I was like, oh god, another like 3D.
It's out.
game.
Wait a minute, it's
Wait,
out.
It's out?
Yeah,
It came out on May 16th.
I haven't had time to play it, but like if
Oh,
you look
shit.
at like if you look at any level from it, like a random video maybe, it looks really interesting. And apparently
Yeah, it kind
has
of looks like what you're describing.
Yeah.
There are some boost pads that kind of restrict you, but other than that, yeah. And there are
I want more
bosses that look
games
fun.
like this. I really
Yeah. Oh
want
my
games
god,
like
this game looks good. I'm gonna buy it like right now.
I was gonna play it sometime this week, but I forgot.
Oh,
much is
apparently
it?
I can't run it. Well, fuck. It's $20.
I don't know.
Oh, I mean, for $20, I may as well just try it. Worst case,
Yeah.
I'll refund it on Steam or something.
By the way, Abdullah, if we've spent this much time on that question, we are not going to get through the other question very easily.
Well, I was gonna ask like we're 1
I feel
hour
like
and
we
15
could
minutes
do
in,
it.
so it depends on. Do we want to
I mean,
continue?
how much longer do you want to go?
I mean, the first podcast episode was like 2 hours, I think, right? Let me keep talking. Naturally.
When you
Natural
say that-
natural
when you say
conversation.
that-
Natural conversation. Go.
Abdullah, you know when you say that doesn't work. Like you're going to make it worse for everyone listening.
the second podcast episode was 1 hour and 50 minutes. So we can do the second question, but like, sort of like.
It'd have to be abridged.
Yeah, I don't know.
We could do it though, like
Yeah, I'm down because I do want to talk about the second question.
because there are multiple parts to this one.
Yeah, we could just
So
like
we-
address the first part maybe, and then see
Yeah.
if we have time for the rest.
It'd have to be the most well. I think the first one's gonna be a little more difficult. You should just read it out.
All right, so the question comes from Chariot Rider on the forums. He asks, "What do you feel are the most innovative games of the past 5 years?" And then he clarifies, like, these don't need to be the best games, but they are innovative in some way. What about the most innovative game of all time? But I mean, we can just start with for the last 5 years, I guess. And then, yeah.
He said you can think about this in terms of mechanical innovation, but I would also like to hear your thoughts on narrative innovation and how story structure has changed over time.
Mhm.
And that's something that I'm interested in too.
Yeah.
So,
Anyone?
in the past 5 years, I feel restricted. You know, it's just restricted to genres that are already defined.
Yeah.
But all time, there are so many answers for that, and that excites me. I want to talk about that. I don't know. How do you guys feel?
I feel you see at first I was like 5 years is like I don't even know how many games I've played in the last 5 years, and I don't mean that in the way that like I've played so many games. I mean like I've played probably like 15 games in the last 5 years. I mean not that few, but like a lot, or like not a lot. But I think I do have an answer, but I guess
I have an answer too, but I'm really afraid to say it.
why?
I mean, I know you won't judge me, but like, it feels like such a cliche answer.
I guess actually no.
No,
we actually
you know
might
what?
have
No.
the same answer. We might have the same answer.
Just say it.
I was gonna say Undertale.
Oh my god, me too.
And I know people get pissed off, but like, it's just like
It's so
the
different.
The things that Undertale does are really
This is legit-
Like,
this is-
outside
this-
of the box. Like
This answers both parts of this next. Like he answers. This answers mechanical innovation and narrative innovation.
Yeah.
that's why I love that game so much. Like, it just does things that are like. It's like you
know
play
what?
it and you see some things and you're like, why has nobody ever thought about doing this before?
In the last 5 years, yeah. No, I agree with you guys.
Because
I'm
like
gonna answer that.
And people, I just don't like. Any time you bring up Undertale, it becomes a bloodbath. I just don't.
yeah,
get it.
people are like, it's not as good.
Probably
as the game.
because people they're just tired of people talking about it. Meanwhile, it's a great game.
But
and
like
people
it
should
is,
talk about it
yeah,
as much
it's
as they
a
like.
really good game, and I don't. So like at first, I'll admit I was like I thought that way, where I was like, everyone is talking about this game. I just don't want to play it. Like every time people talk about a game this much, it's overhyped and it's just like ruined, and I just don't want to play it. And then I played it, and I was like, that was probably one of the best games I've ever played.
I mean, like, I don't want to make this seem like we're better than everyone else.
No,
the fact
no.
that the fact that we were both thinking about it unconsciously at the same time is a little telling. Like,
it's funny too, because I didn't have an answer for the last 5 years, but as soon as you said Undertale, I was like, "Yep, I'm on board." Because it's not. Like I don't care if it's a cliche answer either. It's a good answer, and I agree completely.
It plays with narrative conventions. It plays with mechanical conventions by playing into the narrative conventions that are defying it just does things that you would not expect it to do.
Yeah.
It like crashes the game.
Yeah.
Sometimes like that. I can't think of another game that does shit like it does.
That's the thing. Like that game Undertale made me realize that like so many games just follow the structure that is built in. Like we haven't had a game in so long. I love Spider-Man PS4. That game is not innovative at all, in my opinion.
No. Well, to be fair, you know what? You don't have to innovate all the time.
No, yeah.
You just have to make an engaging
It's still a good game, but it's just not
it's rare, right? It's rare to see something like that.
Yeah, and then you get like Undertale, which is just like Toby Fox is just like, I will literally do whatever I want, and you will enjoy it. You get
moments where you're like, and you got to think about before this was widely known, people. When you first play Undertale, you have no idea that there's a genocide route. You have no idea that you can just like decide to kill every monster in an area if you want to, and it will drastically change the outcome of the story. This is not like a Mass Effect dialogue tree. This is like you are deciding to do a thing, and you get a bad ending if you commit to it.
Yeah, and you're basically playing a different game.
Dude, so many games are afraid to punish players for making a bad decision.
Yeah, and the thing is that I like is that it's not like some games will do that funny thing where like, oh, you killed an NPC and now the police, like GTA, like fucking the most generic example where like, I mean, GTA is a good game. I don't know. I haven't played it in a while, but like you kill like an NPC or run someone over and it's like the police are after you. And like so many games do that in the sense that like you do one bad thing and the game like is like, ha ha ha, slap on the wrist, like as a joke. But in this game, it's just like, that's a mechanic. Like you kill someone, you literally like, you did kill someone, and now
there are like 20 different endings for neutral based on which people you killed and which ones you didn't.
Yeah. Like I don't know. I just think it's such a good game. Like I haven't played a game in the last 5 years.
Well, I think people tried to play it conventionally. They tried to be like, okay, there are two endings. We gotta get both of them. Like, and like I can't blame them for wanting to do that because it is a nice like I did that.
Yeah, same.
But like I didn't like force myself. Like when I first played it, I didn't know anything. I killed Toriel. I did because I didn't know you weren't supposed to. I'm pretty sure most people did.
Yeah, exactly.
And like that's the wake up call. There is that you fight a boss and you kill it if you beat the boss. Like that. Yeah. That's innovative in and of itself.
Yeah.
Like,
See, the most I wanted to do was I learned that that's how the game was designed, and then I decided to go back and do a pacifist run to see how I could solve each boss without killing them.
And the game knows that you're doing that too. If you
exactly.
If you
covers all of its
if
faces.
You kill Toriel and you restart your save, Flowey will tell you you're a bad person.
Yeah, he's like you can't. He says something like you can't erase what you've done, or like I know what you did, or something like that.
Yeah, like it plays with save mechanics. Like it plays against player psychology. Like it knows what you want to do and has a response for everything. There is nothing you can do in that game it does not have a prepared response for.
The fucking what's his name, Asgore boss, where he just destroys the mercy button, and you're like, well, shit, now what? Like, I literally just stood there and I was like, I kept acting, and I kept acting, and I was like, this isn't. He was like, and the game tells you like, this isn't going to do anything. Fucking fight him, and you're like, no, I don't want to, and like I haven't.
Yeah,
there are so few games that can like do that
boss
to you.
Because of that. Mm-hmm. I love immersive sims as a whole. I love games that let you choose how you want to play and what you want to do. But for a game to surprise you with that's something that isn't really done very often.
Yeah.
That game, there's a video by H Bomber guy on that game. I'd recommend it. But it's about how Undertale kind of makes a statement against needing to experience everything in a game because it outright punishes you for doing it and makes you feel like a bad person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, everybody who plays it are like, okay, well, we gotta do every route, we gotta find everything.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, you can play a game however the fuck you want to play a game.
Yeah, but like the game itself, is basically saying that you don't have to wring the game dry, and if you do, you might need to reevaluate the way that you think about these things.
And narratively, it's like you're supposed to be treating these characters like real
narratively
people.
they come up with they actually come up with reasons to spite you directly.
Yeah.
Where Sans is the only one with memory of all these things that you're doing. And he's like, why are you playing this game multiple times? Why do you need to satiate your curiosity like this? And you in effect, you become the monster that Kara is, because what you're doing is to satiate your bloodlust, basically. Well, there's a genocide route and I feel like the game was designed almost with that zeitgeist in mind. Obviously, he couldn't have known that it would blow up in a big way.
Yeah.
But he probably was like, people are going to talk about this route, and then people are going to want to do it, and then you're going to be made to feel bad for trying to do it. There's even a moment where this goes beyond clever dialogue. There's a moment where Flowey calls out people who read are in Twitch chat audiences. There's a point where he's like, I bet you there are a bunch of people watching this because they're too afraid to do it themselves.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And it's just I don't know if I would consider it innovative, but even if you don't, it defies expectations in a good way.
It just doesn't
that
play
most
safe.
games are afraid to do. And maybe it stumbles here and there, but it the way that you have to think about that game so radically differently, because it doesn't follow any sort of convention at all.
It's funny too, because I generally dislike the genocide route, but the game knows that. Like you said, the game is
it's definitely
telling
not
you not
supposed to be a fun route.
Yeah. Not even from oh no, I feel bad perspective, but also I didn't find it fun to play.
Yeah.
It was
they try their hardest to be to get you off of it.
Yeah, it's 49 monsters left. I'm like, what the fuck? I don't want to. I felt bad at first, and now I'm just this is tedious.
And that's why when you get to Sans and he's like, was that worth it? Was what you did really worth getting here right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he
this was an easier question
and then
to answer
out of
than I
fucking
thought.
nowhere, the hardest boss in the entire game, in any game almost ever, is just here, I'm going to throw this at you at a whim because you're a bad person, and I'm going to punish you.
That was great, yeah.
I genuinely think that's the most innovative game that I've played in the last
'cause I mean, what
years.
other... This is... Okay. I don't want to
This is beyond... Undertale is beyond genres, I think, when it comes to innovation.
I just,
I think that's why we need more games that are not genre specific.
Yeah.
Because the thing about Undertale is you play it and you're like, this seems like a Earthbound inspired RPG.
But it's not.
And then you finish it and you're like, this is
that was
more than
not that.
Yeah.
This is another thing
Undertale.
entirely.
But I'm upset that you play forget games that are already out. We were talking before this podcast about games we're looking forward to. There's Animal Crossing, Luigi's Mansion 3, and these are just the Nintendo ones, Fire Emblem, and then there's other ones like Avengers from Square Enix. What else were we talking about? I don't know. I'm looking forward to Skull and Bones, but all of these things are just, they're not new in the sense that Undertale was. They're not a new thing.
Yeah.
They're just, I mean, no, they are a new thing, but they're not a new idea.
Specifically with Luigi's Mansion 3, a game that when I was 8 years old, I'd be like, "Whoa, Luigi's Mansion!"
Yeah.
Nowadays, I'm I am interested in it, but there are some games that Luigi's Mansion, the original, that I'm just I don't know if I need another Luigi's Mansion.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Because what is going to be different about this one? There's going to be different types of ghosts, different fucking vacuum upgrades, and that's the main things they're going to highlight.
I'm not saying it can't be done. I'm just saying some games are special enough to me where I'm I don't need another one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's just not... either it won't be the same or it'll feel too similar.
Yeah, and that ties back to Undertale, because Deltarune is not Undertale 2. He's Toby Fox is in no way cashing in on Undertale was good, I'll just make another one like that where I subvert player expectations. No, he's the system is different. He's completely changed the combat system. You actually do fight people now. Susie as a party, who is in your party affects how you not just what attacks you have, but how you play the game.
Yeah, there's no there's no genocide route.
Yeah,
you just play it's almost the game is actually kind of centered around the idea that you have no choice anymore.
Yeah.
Which sounds paradoxical, but it's also like that's an entirely different thing that you could play around with. Like the idea that you are actually trapped within your own fate. Like there's nothing you can do to branch out of it, which is a stark contrast to Undertale. I'm so looking forward to how that's done.
Yeah. What wasn't it? I think it's Susie in the beginning of the game where you're like, it gives you an option. I think it's like the only time it gives you an option, like spare or fight. And Susie's like, no, fuck you. I'm not sparing this guy. Like, I'm going to fight him. And she fights him, and you're like, okay, I need to find another way around this. Like, no... Every game is just like... Or most games nowadays, like AAA titles, are just like, this is action-adventure, this is puzzle, this is RPG, this is blah, blah, blah. Like, that's not a bad thing. It doesn't make them bad. It's just...
That's, like...
It's
This is not really related to the question. I guess it kind of is, but... I was thinking about franchise fatigue lately.
Mm-hmm.
There's like, if you think about it, I feel like there's franchises or ideas can't live forever.
No, yeah.
If a franchise is based on an idea, if it's a particularly malleable idea, you could probably do a lot with it. But I realized lately that I'm like, there are franchises that have been going on for a long time that will eventually reach a point where I don't know how they can do anything that's like... Have you ever thought about this? Like the shelf life of an idea? Like a base idea?
Yeah.
Like there's like no way that all these like... There's no way that... like... I don't know. What franchise has been going on for a long time? Like... If you're playing like Pokemon...
Oh god, yeah.
Okay.
That one is like the
example.
best example, I think.
Because I still like Pokemon, but
yeah,
it's hard to deny that it feels like it's lost like it doesn't have anywhere like I mean it has places it could go, but it feels like
it won't.
The idea is so strong that you like it's hard for them to even imagine doing anything radically different to it like. And I can understand that idea because, like, to some people, that formula is, like, magical. Even to me, sometimes, I play those games and I'm like, this is, like, if you change too much about this, you risk alienating a lot of people who like that for it being the same. Maybe that's not the best example.
No, I mean, I get what you mean. And like, not to start a whole other conversation that is, like, irrelevant, but... You know, Mario, what confused me was like, I mean, we did this example earlier in this podcast, but like, Breath of the Wild, I compare like Breath of the Wild and Odyssey. Breath of the Wild is genuinely a different game within the context of that series. Odyssey was like a bunch of people were like, we want Sunshine and 64, and they got it, and it's different. But I was just like, well. Why? Like, we could have had something actually new, but instead people were like, no, I want this old game that I used to play as a kid, but different. I'm like, but like, is that really different? Like,
well, I was thinking Odyssey was pretty different.
That's what I was thinking about. I was thinking about Paper Mario. And you know why I was thinking about Paper Mario? Because I know, even me included, there are lots of people who want a new Paper Mario game that's in the style of the old games. But, like, there's that kind of formula only works for so long. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
I mean, anything only works for so long.
You can't beat those things into the ground or they just become less special.
Yeah.
And I don't know. There are a lot of things that people want. I want another Klonoa game, but do I really want another Klonoa game? Like, truly? Do I really want just the same game that I can still play?
Yeah, that's what I mean with the Odyssey thing. Like, I don't mean that Odyssey is just Sunshine or 64 or whatever. I mean, like, we were on a path where we went from 64 to Sunshine, which was a natural evolution, and then Galaxy, which was, like, fucking so different. And then Galaxy 2,
I would consider Galaxy to be, like, a hybrid kind of, like... It was like, we're going to incorporate more 2D Mario elements in 3D
it was
space.
Like, it was, for Mario...
We're not gonna completely abandon... It's kind of like a new style of thing that they tried.
Yeah. And then we
But that's why when we got Galaxy 2, I was like, this feels inherently less special for some reason, even though like like
you can't see it, but I'm like waving my arms in frustration because that's what I said in that old video on that old channel, and people were like, no, it's actually better because it has more upgrades. I'm like, that's not the point. Like, that's not the point. So what? You can ride Yoshi. You can fucking ride Yoshi in like every other Mario game. I don't care. Like, this is just sequel the game. Like, and I was like, I don't like. I was just like, I played it and it was so hyped up, and everyone was like, it's the best game ever, or it's the best like Mario game or whatever. And I played it and I was like, I just played Galaxy 1. Why did I play this game? And people like were like, no, this game is actually better. It has more upgrades. It has Yoshi. It has bigger levels. I'm like, but like, does any of it matters?
By technicality, it is a better game because it has more, but that doesn't mean it's a good sequel.
And I'm just like, I'm sitting there and I'm like, we were talking about comments earlier too. Like, I got so many of those and I was just like, maybe I am wrong.
This is exactly why I love Zelda. This is exactly why I keep banging on about fucking Zelda. Is because every game feels like it's like, we're going to try this new weird thing. And maybe it's not radically different, but like,
yeah,
they're like, we'll get like, you start with Ocarina of Time, first 3D game. We're going to try some things. Majora's Mask, a year later, let's do some weird shit. Like, let's just do some weird shit. And then Wind Waker, like, let's make weird art style cell shaded thing, happy-go-lucky game, but with weird dark implications with Ganondorf and the themes. And we'll make an entirely explorable ocean where you're a pirate. Those are 3 games all back to back that feel like completely different games.
Yeah, and they're in like the span of like 5 or 6 years.
Yeah. And then like, obviously it's a franchise, so like you play Twilight Princess and it's like, oh yeah, that's similar to Ocarina.
Yeah.
Like obviously, like you're not gonna escape every single similarity.
Yeah.
But then, like, Skyward Sword, for all people say about it, let's have a game in a sky where you ride a bird.
Yeah.
Like, and control the sword with your Wiimote. Like, it's like, I just admire the series so much because it just feels like every game is like, let's try a new thing.
That's why I'm still here.
And that's why.
Well,
I think
hold
Zelda...
on. Let me clarify. If I had never played a Zelda game, I would off myself.
Oh boy. Heavy implications.
No, I mean that's why I still play Zelda. It's because they're all different. Like what were we talking about at the beginning of the podcast?
They follow a similar structure, obviously, but like
that's exactly what we were talking about at the beginning too. Mm-hmm. Innovation.
And I mean, like, I think that's why Zelda will live on longer than most of Nintendo's franchises, even Mario, is because it feels like
you said that, like, if it's a formula that's malleable, like earlier you said that.
Yeah.
Zelda is the definition of malleable when it comes to a formula.
I think that's why Zelda might even resonate with more people. Like, obviously Mario is more popular, but the idea of Zelda probably resonates with more people than the idea of Mario. Like, because whenever a new Zelda game comes out, it's like, people will not shut up about it.
Yeah.
Whenever a new Mario game comes out, it's usually done after a while. You know, like, people have their fun with it, and then it's just done.
Yeah. I don't know.
But that's why I appreciate these games that, like, even if they're not super innovative, they're at least trying to stick out.
Yeah.
Because I played so many games that are, like, even fucking, like, maybe this is a bad example, but, like, maybe the reason that I was burning out of Sekiro is because even though it does cool, interesting things with the Souls formula, it's still the Souls formula, but just stripped of everything that I cared about. And, like, even if it had some of the stuff I cared about, there's a point at which the Souls formula stops appealing to me because I play these games to, like, explore the worlds. And if you just keep getting the same game with a, like, different flavor, it's like, why am I playing this? Like, I was playing Sekiro the way that I was playing the Souls games. And there are some parts where they subvert those expectations, but I was dodging and weaving and doing the same things. I'm like, I just feel like I'm playing the same thing.
Yeah. It's like pay $60 or $80. Like,
and I was playing fucking Yoshi's Crafted World.
Oh my god.
Which has interesting ideas to set it apart, but at the end of the day, it is still just a Yoshi game like, which is hard to like quantify, but it's just a Yoshi game.
No, at the end, at the end of it, I just wanted to go back and play Yoshi's Island. It's not like Crafted World's a bad game or anything. It's just not. That's the thing. You were saying earlier that Luigi's Mansion 1 is so replayable and so good that you can just keep going back to it forever and you won't.
Well, I tried playing Luigi's Mansion 2 so many times, and I'm like, I just don't care. Like, it's sad to say, but the idea of Luigi's Mansion, I don't think is like some big series. Even though when I was 8 years old, I'd be like, I want a sequel right now. Yeah. Nowadays, I'm like, no, we don't need that. Just make a like Waluigi game or something.
The other thing is, the bottom line though is that it can be done. It just people aren't taking the stride to do that.
Yeah,
they're not. Luigi's Mansion could have a game as good as the first, and 2 is like, Lord knows it's fucking different. But like, Luigi's Mansion is the perfect replayable game. And we could have something like that has one mansion for you to explore. They just don't want to do that.
Yeah, but
they want to try something different to extend it as a franchise.
Though, I don't know if I necessarily like. I don't know, like, because I would want that deep in my heart, maybe. But the more I think about it, I'm like, I'd rather a team like that just make something else.
Yeah.
Because Luigi's Mansion is the type of game that will never get old.
Yeah.
So I don't need a sequel to it. Like, I'd just rather that this team of talented people try something else.
That's the problem with extending something like that into a franchise, too. That is where franchise fatigue? That is where franchise fatigue stems from.
And that's what's happening with fucking Sonic the Hedgehog.
It all comes full circle, does it? Always comes back to
This is not a joke, by the way. This is legitimate frustration.
Yeah. I mean,
franchise fatigue has stricken that franchise. That's a weird sentence. It has stricken that franchise for so long. The things that are done are specifically to combat that, and it shows so bad. And it's like, why am I attached to this? That's where I started thinking about this a lot.
Why am I? Yeah.
That's exactly why I started thinking about it, because I'm like, why do I still play Sonic games? Like, seriously, why? To like rekindle this spark of life I had when I was a kid that's never coming back?
Yeah.
Like, at this point, I'm like, I have Sonic Adventure 2. Why don't I just go play that?
Yeah.
I have Sonic Heroes. Why don't I just go play that? You know, like, there's no reason for me to want something new, because I already have what I want, really. I just want another thing that's exactly the same as what I want. But do I really want that? Or can I just go play the game that already exists and stop, like...
See, this is also kind of cutting deep, because I just made a video about Half-Life and how it never got a finished ending.
Yeah.
So, but that's different, because Half-Life was going places. Half-Life had a malleable formula, and it just got cut off. It got the life snuffed out of it because they wanted to make more money instead of make games.
I mean, that's like representative of this whole conversation, that a series like Sonic can just keep going and going and going, and they just give you like basically
the industry is motivated
turd.
by money more than it is creativity.
Well,
that's
me also another reason I love Kingdom Hearts so much, because it is kind of the same, but they just try so many bonkers things.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, they didn't even need to make, like, they don't even need to make more Kingdom Hearts games anymore. It made a lot of money originally, but it's not making that much anymore. I mean, it did recently, but that's because of the anticipation. The reason there are more Kingdom Hearts games is because Nomura wants to make them.
That's what I'm saying, is like the story wrapped up, but I still want another one. Even though these games are largely the same combat-wise. I mean, they've had...
I say most of them are different.
Yeah, I was gonna, like, I mean, we're talking about innovation, and like Kingdom Hearts 1, right after that came Chain of Memories, which is like, I played that and I was like, this is so fucking different.
Well,
I may have not liked it, but...
That's kind of like the poster child for, like, let's do weird shit. Like,
yeah, and like, so what if it doesn't work? Like, it's
just move on. Yeah, do something new.
That's kind of exactly what they did. But even with 3, which kind of was like, let's try old things that people want back. Those, like, are not like my favorite parts of 3, to be honest. Because it's just like there are a lot of people who are like, let's just make Kingdom Hearts 2 again.
Yeah, oh my god.
And I understand, because Kingdom Hearts 2 does have a really brilliant combat system. I get it. But, like, we gotta be able to branch out. Like, at least a little bit. And maybe it doesn't work exactly like that game that you played when you were 8 years old.
Mm-hmm.
But that's okay.
But the game's still
the game
there.
that you played when you were 8 years old it still exists.
Yeah.
You know, like you can obviously you can disagree with the direction of a series. But like I look at something like Kingdom Hearts 3 and I'm like, it's fun, right? Like it's not it doesn't have the same revenge value system, or it doesn't have drive forms. What the fuck ever, you know?
Yeah.
Like there's Keyblade transformations in that shit. You switch Keyblades. There's like enough new shit in there that like, and people like you get to this is turning into bad. You get to like the end. You get to the end, and people are like, it's not as cool as it was in KH2. It's like, what do you want? What do you want? You go into like Scala Ed Kylum, you fight Goat Xehanort 13 times, or like
You know,
what are the expectations here?
This is kind of a tangent now, but like,
what are the expectations here?
I get it.
Do we want the same thing over and over again?
We're looping back to the beginning when I said let the world argue, because
but
this is exactly.
I think this is like
into
because this is different than YouTube comments. Because YouTube comments you
I
could
do
just
think-
like dismiss.
Yeah.
Whereas this is like people are like, no, we want. For example, like no, we want.
I think it's relevant because it's like it's based on the idea of what this one thing did, and the future game decided to do differently.
Yeah.
And because when it comes down to is me, like I think people just want to play Kingdom Hearts 2, and that's fine.
So just
But
do
like
it. Yeah,
Kingdom Hearts
exactly.
3 is not Kingdom Hearts 2. Kingdom Hearts 1 is not Kingdom Hearts 2. Like I don't know. You know, like
Furiously masturbates in the middle of the podcast.
The one thing that sort of like just snapped me out of this trance of buying new games and like shelving them aside was Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. To be fair, I have been trying to get back into Pokemon for like a while. I played XY, I played ORAS, and then I played Let's Go Eevee. And I was like, maybe, you know what, they keep saying it's
I like
for a
when people
different
pronounce
audience.
it like that.
What, ORAS?
I wasn't gonna say
I
anything.
mean ORAS, Alpha or Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire.
No,
Or ass.
It's funny and epic when you pronounce it like
Oris,
that. Continue.
Oris. And I was like, I've been trying to get into it for a while because I miss enjoying it as a kid. And then I played Let's Go Eevee, and I'm just like, what? This is fucking. What is this? Like, I get people liked it. I'm not taking that away from them. Like,
Actually, I don't think the majority actually like that game.
I don't know. I talked to a friend, and he was like, "It's really fun," and I'm like, great, honestly, great." But I played it, and I'm just like, "This is literally less than what I played last time," and I didn't even enjoy that. So I just don't understand. Like, what is this like? It's like I could go on about this forever. Like the need to like remake games. Like, Insane Trilogy was a great game, but like.
No, it straight up was the same game.
Well, that's exactly
and it had
why
improvements.
that's exactly why I wrote my video, and almost all of the comments on that video were like, "But remakes, like when I was like remakes, why not make something new?" And they're like, "Well, the remakes aren't hurting anybody." And I'm like, "But
it's like they're not.
You're not
but...
making. It's like, why do this when you can do that?" The answer is money.
That's what I don't.
That's the same with franchises too.
Yeah.
Is that you can't do anything too radical. You're just gonna get people to not buy it.
Also, to clarify, I'm not being cynical about like games like Insane Trilogy or like whatever. I'm like, I really like that game. I like platinumed it. I 100%ed that game. But then it kind of like bummed me out when they were like, we're making a Crash Racing game, and I was like, oh really? And then they're like, it's a remake of the last two ones. I was like, oh. Like I'm still looking forward to it. I'm still gonna get it. I'm still gonna play it. I'm still gonna enjoy it. But it's just like,
I guess this is
well,
just
that's
what
exactly what happened
for.
when they announced the Link's Awakening remake. I was like, cool.
Yeah, you know
but
what?
also
I was
like, why? Like,
I was excited. I was like, you know what? If this release timeline for Zelda games since 2009 is correct, we're gonna get a new Zelda game. I was excited when I saw Link on the boat. I pretty sure I yelled. I was like, holy shit, Link's Awakening's coming back.
Mm-hmm.
But after the trailer was done, I was like, we could have had a new Zelda game.
yeah, like
though.
I've played this.
you
before.
see that art style? That art style, I think, honestly, would have been better received
if it were
was
a new game. Exactly.
Yeah. And if it was, I think that'd be interesting. It's just,
It's not like I'm not excited for these remakes. Like I love CTR has online multiplayer now. That's fucking awesome. But it's at the same time, a new Crash game would have been nice.
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
We've seen they made a new level in that
I was about to
remake.
say the exact same
and
thing.
it was people that have played it, they're like, it's really good. And I'm like, oh god, can you make a game?
So after CTR, the only other game that they can possibly pull out of their asses to remake is Twinsanity. But even that's kind of contentious because not many people like that game.
I mean,
they might as well just not do it. They might as well just make a new game.
But the thing, I mean, okay, so this is where this conversation gets tricky though, because like, I said this, and now I'm thinking about it because in the context of this conversation, it sounds like a bad thing. I was like, I think it was in your Discord, Liam. I was like, if they're gonna make a new, I said I wouldn't mind them making a new Crash game that's just like Crash 1 to 3.
Yeah.
But like now I'm thinking
fuck.
about it, and I'm like.
No, this is scary because Wrath of Cortex was trying to be
exactly.
that, and it was bad.
I played that game and I was like, this is not. What is this? I just played 1 to 3 and they were all different, and this is just like, haha, you.
This is literally the same as 3.
And then like I'm like, I wouldn't mind them making new levels in that style, and it's like, it's tricky because like. I would play them, I would have fun with them, but at the same time, I'd just be like, well,
You know what? That's the thing. Vicarious could do some pretty interesting stuff with Crash, though. Yeah. If they can make levels that good, then surely they can come up with new ideas. They don't have many original titles under their belt, but I'd like to see them try, Hopefully they do.
I feel like in a way we answered we kind of answered the question, the second half, which was like, what is the most innovative game of all time? Because that
is a very broad question anyway.
Yeah, so. I mean, we've been talking about how, like, all these series have been sort of like going on for like ever, and it's just problematic.
I mean, what is the most innovative game of all time?
I literally
the first video game.
I have no answer.
Clearly, the first video game.
I do think that's a hard question to answer
because there's so many. Like
there's way too many answers. I think we answered this pretty thoroughly.
Yeah.
In and of itself.
We really could go on. I feel like we could go on so much longer about this, but like it's just sort of.
I'm surprised we actually did answer it in a decent amount of time.
Yeah.
And had something to say.
I mean, it's okay. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. Never mind. Okay.
No, it was great.
Yeah, it was a good conversation. I think it's worth more people talking about, honestly.
We should fucking podcast more. I don't know. Dan and I we kind of didn't really talk about the podcast after the Game of the Year one, but I think I wanted to do John Wick because I'm gonna watch the trilogy. We watched the
Would
first
you be
one.
willing to watch John Wick? John Wick?
John Wick.
That's a porn. But
I mean, let me put it this way: when Thanos was is that spoiler territory?
I mean, you can cut it out if you want.
Endgame spoilers. Skip ahead. When Thanos was beheaded in Endgame, I was like shook for a second. I was like,
you probably should not watch John Wick.
So I John Wick probably.
I don't know though, because they're so good. But there's a scene in the second movie where somebody gets stabbed with a pencil. Like
I mean,
it's through the eye.
Daredevil season 1. I think it was in the second episode, the bowling alley scene. I was like, I don't want to. Like
they're so good though. Fine.
Yeah, I gotta watch.
I mean, who knows? Before I was like, I'll never watch horror movies, and then I watched like Us, and I was like, that was a really fucking good movie. And I don't think that counts as horror. It's probably more thriller, but like. I don't
know. Definition is kind of askew.
I guess. I don't know. Everyone I talked to, I was like, I watched my first horror movie, and they were like, that's not horror, you're a fake fan. I was like, okay.
John Wick 3 is not like... I'm trying to think if there was anything like explicitly gruesome, like akin to a pencil stabbing, but like I think that one's relatively tame.
I mean, really, Abdullah, how much damage is a pencil gonna do?
No, it's just like it's I cringe because of it. I'm just like, oh.
I thought you're. I get it. It's cringe.
No, I wasn't gonna say it's, yeah. Like I was like, I probably shouldn't phrase it that way. But,
you should sit down. You should watch the first movie still.
Yeah, Dan. Abdullah, the other one.
I don't.
Because if you don't like the first movie, it's not that long of a movie. It's actually quite a short movie.
It's short.
It's not about length. Trust me. If it was about length, I would have gotten through The Punisher like so quickly. But I have heard things about that series that have like would
Dude,
scar
The
me.
Punisher. I watched The Punisher one night, just in its entirety, and I felt a little bit broken. Like after that,
It's just
'Cause
like it's too much.
It was so gruesome for episode upon episode upon episode. That I was like, okay, I need to go take a break.
Like
Yeah.
from
there's
life.
there's a scene in Daredevil where it's the first season where the guy impales his own face with exactly, that's what I'm saying. He just like he's like shoves his face into like a pole and he like fully impales it, and he's just and Daredevil's just like standing there like, oh no, he's dead. I'm like, dude. It's just, it's too much. I can't handle
Or
this shit.
yeah, I don't know. I want you to watch it. I want you to test it out at least.
That actually circles back to the Manhunt conversation
Actually-
where people were commenting like, you just want the violence to end. You're a pussy. I went back to the comment that people are actually saying that. Meanwhile, it's like, the violence is intentionally gruesome, right? The violence is supposed to disturb you, but no. If you like watching these men's get their face split open, I mean, that should say something about you.
Yeah.
Abdullah,
But
could you handle a newborn puppy dying
How?
by being kicked and then hit with a bat?
Jesus fuck.
it was off screen.
Still,
Yeah, they didn't show it. To be fair,
I'd be,
No, the
I mean,
idea was horrible, but like, don't worry. They knew better than to show it.
I just
Like,
I don't.
Puppies don't know what's going on. They don't know.
Oh, God,
It's not like they're gonna show that. That's
move
horrible.
Move on. I don't like talking about this.
Well, don't worry.
it's
Don't
just
worry.
so
You
good
know
though
what?
because the choreography's good.
John
I just
Wick-
like
I think you'll be
you
able
shoot
to
a
look
gun.
past it.
If you shoot a gun in John Wick, it feels like he's punching someone in the face. Like
No, I can
Yeah.
appreciate that. I just,
Jo-
it's
Don't
not
worry, man.
really
It's-
that gruesome. Like
It's not as gruesome as you might think.
it's just select scenes that are like.
Yeah.
I mean,
You
this
know.
is
Look away,
why
man.
I don't watch Game of Thrones. Because Game of Thrones, I've heard stuff like someone gets castrated. I'm like, why would I put myself?
Or
through
don't
that?
watch Game of Thrones. There's a scene where a guy gets his eyes gouged out, and the camera is,
See,
the
there are
camera's
things.
trained on his face.
I was able to play these
entire
Manhunt games all the way through, and there are things I cannot take.
Yeah, Game of Thrones,
just
is
even if
pretty
it's
intense.
fictional.
But
But
Game of Thrones is pretty intense.
anyway,
I'll just stick
yeah.
to Spider-Man.
I gotta watch the other ones. Anyway.
That's a pretty good note to end on. So
Yeah, face stabbing.
Thanks. Yeah, face stabbing. Thanks for watching. Keep watching if you don't want your face stabbed. Just kidding. That's not a threat. Please don't report.
Keep watching if you don't. It's over.
Please don't report. No, I
Watch
mean like
it again.
future episodes.
Yeah, watch it again if you don't want your face stabbed.
Watch
Just on
John
loop.
Wick and then come back to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone privately message Dan and be like, I watched John Wick.
Oh my God, Dan!
contact.
Send Dan as many emails as you possibly can about John Wick. Make sure that he has to delete his email.
Yeah.
His
Go
entire email account.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, bye.
All right, bye.
Love you.